window and the parallel market widening to about 100 naira due to foreign exchange shortage. The Economic Intelligence Unit recently predicted that the CBN will revert to heavier management of the exchange rate in late 2023 to tame rapid price rises.
Where are we actually supposed to be getting the major source of our problem with getting forex, that's the dollar, is because we have nothing to sell.
Another thing is that the account published on Friday showed a previous undisclosed $7.5 billion in transactions with JP Morgan Chase and Co. and Goldman Sachs Group Inc. In addition, it detailed an exposure in foreign currency forward contract of almost $7 billion. The central bank also showed it vastly exceeded the limit placed on its lending to the government. The local currency has already been plunging since the CBN allowed it to trade more freely in June. The issue with the net reserves shown in the report last week means the central bank's capacity to defend the naira is limited. The chief executive of Lagos-based CFG Advisory, Adetilewa Adebajo, said given the state of the CBN balance sheet and the fact that the naira is already at 945 naira to the dollar on the parallel market, the road to 1000 naira looks unhindered. And now, unauthorized market, the move to a more liberal exchange system was designed to remove obstacles which had deterred foreign investors, but the expected jump in inflow has been slow in coming. This is really a sad reality we found ourselves in this country, but hopefully things will get better. But we cannot just hope and expect things to get better except if those in authority start to take decisive actions and people-friendly actions that you have to look at alternatives before you pick the best among the alternatives, so that you put the people first before any other personal interest or you maintaining your position, because that is what I see most of these people after their position.
They are playing politics with the lives of people, and it is absolutely sad. Dollar shortage is threatening aircraft insurance operators lament. Well, as the naira continues to free fall against major currencies, especially the dollar, airlines, according to the chief operating officer of Ibom Air, Mr. George Uriesi, are feeling the brunt more than expected, as many don't have enough foreign currency to pay for insurance. Uriesi stated this over the weekend at the third edition of the Avia Cargo Chinet Conference 2023 held in Lagos. In his presentation at the conference, the COO specifically said that the situation had led to high insurance premiums for the airlines and wondered how some of them were coping with the situation. He added that this was a major challenge to operators, as aircraft and other equipment must be appropriately insured by the airlines before being deployed to service. According to Uriesi, the perilous situation needed urgent government attention and warned that the present condition may lead to the collapse of some of the carriers. He further expressed that the operators were having difficulties assessing the dollars through the Central Bank of Nigeria as they encounter a lot of delays. He said insurance is a growing problem, and because we cannot fly an uninsured aircraft, we have no choice but to hang in there and source for the dollars to do the insurance. The losses we accumulated were mainly dollar-based components. When you are procuring dollars above the then CBN rate, you apply when it was 400 naira to a dollar and get it at 680 naira. The difference is a lot. Now it is being floated and it is running faster. Recently we bought a dollar for 915 naira, but on the platform it was put at 890 naira. Today it is 900 naira on the platform. I'm sure when we are getting it, we would procure it at 950 naira. The new style is they will tell you give us cash, and when we buy dollar we will give you, but it delays. You ask for your cash back and they tell you that you wouldn't get the dollar. When they now have the $400,000, they will now tell you the price they got far exceeds what was paid and you need to add more. That is where we are now. I don't know how the other airlines are managing the situation. Also speaking, the Chief Executive Officer of Aerial Contractors Company of Nigeria Limited, the former CEO of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Captain Ado Sanusi, while reacting to Uriesi's claim, said the issue of Forex and airlines has been there for a very long time. It is just coming back because the Naira to dollar exchange rate has gone up, and then the availability too has become a bit scarce. This is a bit due to because the CBN is trying to keep up with their commitment on the allocation of foreign exchange. For airlines, it is a challenge, but that doesn't mean you'd fly the plane without insurance cover. It's illegal. You can't do that. No pilot will fly an airplane without insurance, and I believe those are the things that pilots check for before they fly an airplane. It's left for NCAA to make sure the airlines are well insured and are not using insurance companies that are not recognized by the National Insurance Commission. I've been saying this for a long time, that insurance is one of the biggest challenges for an airline because of country risks and the likes. Insurance companies are requesting for higher premiums, and then when you come, you have to pay foreign currency, and this makes it very hard. So I mean, this article is saying, we know you have a problem getting the insurance. We know it's because of Forex. But because we can't do anything about you getting Forex, you still cannot fly without getting the insurance. That means flights are going to be grounded.
This is one of the news you will hear from the aviation sector, that is aviation news. We will go on a quick commercial. When we return, we will give you some more business ideas. NNPCL breaks silence, say no intention to hike fuel price, and other top stories will come your way after now. Stay with us and please don't change your dial.
Serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at VOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. VOP TV, show up, speak up.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream. Let's go! Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream.
At number 4, Ogbomosho Street,
Area 8, Genki, Abuja, or 3rd Avenue, Gwaripa, Abuja, or Federal Housing Estate, Phase 2, Lube, Abuja. Call 0908-831-5906 or 0908-831-5908 or 0909-238-9861. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at rumourspizza.ng.
Website
www.rumourspizza.ng. Romeo, the pizza champions. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed the 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafting Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less. Are you traveling to Lagos and desire the perfect getaway?
Look no further. other than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, number 42 Murtala Mohammed International Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in our beautiful appointed rooms, featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Now, whether you are traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your every need is met. We also offer complimentary pickup and drop from the Lagos airport.
Why not take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant?
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So why wait? Book your stay today and experience the ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Believe me.
This is not just another radio on your dial. This is
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM, Abuja.
As a sharp business owner, you know you need to advertise your business, right? Don't lie, you need the advert. So what better platform to advertise than with VOP 96.1 FM? Our rates are friendly and our reach extensive. Go ahead, take that bold step and advertise that business today. Give us a call on 080-5761-9720. That is 080-5761-9720. Visit us at our office at number 4 Ogbomosho Street, Romeo's Pizza Building, Area 8, Gariki, or send us an email on abuja@voiceofthepeople.ng.
Welcome back, and in case you just joined, you're welcome also because you're listening to Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja, business around town. You're right on time. We're here with the second part of it. A lot of stories that we have taken reflecting on the business mood in Nigeria. Let's take a look at one more aviation news before we switch over to other sector of the economy. Investors shun Nigeria's aviation sector over negative ratings. This is not quite good. Also, Managing Director of 7-Star Hangar, Roland Ahmed, said investors are becoming apathetic doing business in Nigeria's aviation sector due to its negative ratings. Speaking at the recent symposium of the National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers, Ahmed, who was contributing to the topic of the event, effective economic regulation of the aviation industry as an imperative for safety and workers' welfare, said that many airlines are weak and struggling financially. Hence, the new regulation that airlines must have a minimum of 6 aircraft to be allowed to operate in the country does not look feasible. At a recent virtual meeting with the aviation correspondents over the weekend, the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Musa Nuhu, said airlines must have strong financial capacity and a minimum of 6 aircraft to be allowed to operate in the country. The DG said the new policy is not only for new startups but also for existing operators, adding that existing operators have been given a deadline to comply with the policy. Before now, domestic operators were required to have at least 3 airworthy aircraft before commencing operations. Ahmed said that while the policy was successful in the banking industry, it may fail in the sector, that is talking about the aviation sector, now urging the government to look inward to address the situation. NCAA says new and old airline must now have a minimum of 6 aircraft. If that is allowed to stand, it means it is only Air Peace that would operate. We will see how to go around it, but I tell you that it is a very difficult one. We need to strengthen the airlines, but I tell you that this new act is a killer. I have sat in the management for NG Eagle and it has been over 6 months that we have been looking for aircraft engine. I have sent over 6 lease requests for engine, but no one wants to do business with Nigeria. Our rating is the negative, and the lessors will tell you that if you would not buy it outrightly, you should leave it. One aircraft engine costs $5 million and 2 engine costs $10 million. Who wants to give you that? And they are saying you should get 6 aircraft. When you include the airfare, it will cost you $2 million, which is $12 million in today's Nigeria. We are buying pounds for 1,200 naira and dollars at 900 and above. So I do not see how the airlines are going to survive this. You might have $12 million to a 373, but that amount will buy you 4 classic fresh from C check, 22 years or less than 25 years old. So why should I go and buy an engine? You don't measure engines by the number of years it can serve you. It is by the cycle available. So for a mid-engine that is about 3,000 to 5,000 cycle, if you want to lease, maybe it is about $75,000 to $120,000 monthly. So it depends on where you are getting the engines from and the terms and conditions, short-term lease or long-term lease. But most lessors will prefer a long-term lease, which is about minimum of 3 years, because they want you to use the engines and enjoy it, and also they can recoup their funds, he said. Speaking on NG Eagle, which was formerly a startup of the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, he said the airline will likely commence operations in 3 months' time. The aircraft are there and the airframes, but the engines are out of cycles, and part of the challenge now is that we are thinking of taking our own engines to the shop to repair, but we also need loaner engines to see how we could use that and start up operations. Currently we need about 4 to 6 engines, which we are working on because it has been very difficult and very challenging. This has delayed the startup date, but the startup plan is still on course. We are only looking at the alternates. If we cannot continue with the B737 engine, which we currently have, we will look at other options of aircraft that are available to us. We are looking at the next 3 months to start and hit the ground running, he said. This is something that is not saying well about Nigeria, although this is the reality, but we have to continue to give you the news just the way they are. That is what we are saddled with the responsibility.
Let's look at what is going on with the NNPC. They finally broken their silence and they said they have no intention to hike fuel prices. Well, I don't know about their intentions. Let's just look at the story. What an interesting time to be a Nigerian. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has eventually spoken up as regards the widespread concern of a possible hike in the pump price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol. In a post by the company posted around 11:48 p.m. on Monday on its official X handle. Am I the only one still getting used to calling Twitter X?
I don't think I've ever called it X on air. I've been calling it Twitter.
It's
yes.
X now. Well, the national oil firm and major importer of petrol into Nigeria said it had no intention to increase the pump price of petrol. Dear esteemed customers, we at NNPCL Retail value your patronage, and we do not have the intention to increase our PMS pump prices as widely speculated. Please buy the best quality products at the most affordable prices at our NNPCL retail stations nationwide, the company stated. Now, the NNPCL Retail is the downstream subsidiary of NNPCL that retails refined petroleum products for the group. Recall that oil marketers had on Sunday indicated that the cost of petrol would rise to between 680 naira per litre to 720 naira per litre in the coming weeks, should the dollar continue to trade from 910 to 950 at the parallel market. They also hinted that dealers seeking to import PMS were being forced to put the plans on hold to the scarcity of foreign exchange to import the commodity. Now, the warning came barely 1 week after the local currency crossed the 900 naira per dollar ceiling, with the naira selling at over 945 naira per dollar at the parallel market on Friday. The oil dealers had also said the CBN Importers and Exporters official window for the foreign exchange, which boasts of a lower exchange rate of about $740 per litre, had remained illiquid and unable to provide the $25 million to $30 million required for the importation of PMS by dealers. Now, a correspondent had asked the spokesperson of the NNPC, El Garbadin Mohammed, on Monday if the oil firm would hike petrol price as projected by dealers, but promised to find out and revert. He, however, did not revert. Rather, the company posted the response on X around midnight on Monday. Now, this is what is getting to me at this point. So if the NNPC, of course, now they don't decide the price for everybody, that will mean only NNPC will not increase if other fueling distributors or retailers decide to what do they call it now?
To increase
the price.
NNPC used to be the sole importer of premium motor spirit into the country, but again they gave license to other major marketers to have the ability to import. But what we saw based on from the news that we have is that only Emadeb were able to source for enough forex to get the product into Nigeria, about 27 million liters, and now even Emadeb are struggling with that particular thing. And also other marketers are now scared because they don't have access to enough dollars to import the fuel. That is why the issue is coming up. But again, NNPCL is not an entity that I personally will trust in terms of this information, because we have seen this time and time again in Nigeria. Even Melikulu Kyari came on national TV to tell us that there was nothing gonna happen after the fuel subsidy removal, that the PMS was subsidized up until the end of June. But unfortunately for us, the fuel price got increased
2 days after
all of a sudden, less than 2 days, because it wasn't even up to 48 hours when the new price came to be. So I don't think I would go well with this particular update, except of course if politics is being played, because Nigerians have told Mr. President, even though we know it is not the Nigerian government that determines the price of petrol, but again Nigerians have told Mr. President that we cannot afford to have another fuel price increase in this country, because we are choking, we are dying day by day. So I don't think that is going to be feasible for Nigeria. But let's wait and see how it goes.
I mean, let's look at the stock market for a bit. Hopefully we don't have so much bad news there. Too late. Okomu, Etana and other stocks cause NGX negative start to new week. Well, too late to look for positive news now, is it? Nigeria's equities market took off the new week on a negative note, down by 0.44% or 157 billion naira, as investors sold mostly the shares of Okomu Palm, Oil Palm, Etana, University Press, FTN Cocoa, and Sunu Assurances. At the closing of trade, the Nigerian Exchange Limited all-share index and equities market capitalization decreased from preceding day's highs of 65,325.37 points and 35.572 trillion naira respectively to 65,036.37 points and 35.415 trillion naira. The market closed negative despite analysts' expectations that it will sustain positive sentiments this week. We anticipate that investors will take long position on stocks that have bargain hunting opportunities. However, we highlight that most bellwether tickers are currently trading at year highs and have limited upside potentials. Furthermore, we recognize that the deteriorating macroeconomic conditions, including the expectation for higher inflation rate in July, could have adverse impact on corporates and investors' outlook for these tickers. Overall, we expect the overriding sentiment in the market to be positive this week, said Meristem research analysts in their June 14 note. Now, Okomu oil dropped most from 265 naira to 250 naira after losing 15 naira or 5.66%. It was followed by Turner, which decreased from 19.70 naira to 17.75 naira after losing 1 naira 95 kobo or 9.90%. Sunu Assurance dropped from 1 naira 15 kobo to 1 naira 4 kobo, shedding 11 kobo or 9.57%, while University Press was down from 2 naira 49 kobo to 2 naira 26 kobo, losing 23 kobo or 9.24%. FTN Cocoa also lost from 2 naira 25 kobo to 2 naira 06 kobo, down 19 kobo or 8.44%. Now, Transcorp, Access Corporation, GTCO, Sterling Bank, and UBA are actively traded stocks as investors in 5,899 deals, exchanged 259,041,152 shares valued at 4.204 billion naira. We expect mixed investor sentiments towards the Nigerian equities market, given the majority of companies on the NGX ASI have released their second quarter 2023 financials. We expect any buy interest in the market to be driven by the excess system liquidity and investors' demand for higher returns. However, we expect tempered interests in equities in the week, said Lagos-based United Capital Research analysts.
Yeah, that's what a lot of analysts are saying, that they expect Nigeria's inflation rate to remain stubborn as the naira continues to struggle against other major currencies. You know, analysts noted that inflationary pressures were easing globally but remaining high in Africa's largest economy, talking about Nigeria. So let's wait and see the outcome or the outlook, how it's going to be for July. But based on what we are having, based on the feelers, that is going to go up. Let's take a look at this particular story also from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Nigerian Stock Exchange approves CWG free float extension request. The Nigerian Exchange Limited has approved the CWG's PLC free float compliance extension request for 3 years, that is 2023 to 2026. The board of directors of the company, in a notice on the Nigerian Exchange, made this known to its shareholders. Companies listed on Nigerian Stock Exchange are required to maintain a minimum free float for the set standard under which they are listed, in order to ensure that there is an orderly and liquid market for their securities. Free float refers to the shares of a company that can be publicly traded and are not restricted, or the number of shares that is available to the public for trading in the secondary market. The free float requirements for companies listed on the various boards of Nigerian Stock Exchange include: for growth board, a minimum of 10% of the issued and fully paid up shares or the value of its free float is equal to or above 50 million naira. For entry segment, for growth board, a minimum of 15% of the issued and fully paid up shares or the value of its free float is equal to or above 50 million naira. For standard segment, for